Hello everybody, this tutorial is basically on how to access Google Classroom. Before we start with the tutorial, I would like you all to log into your Gmail account, then log on to google.com and press the 9 grid on the side, right hand side panel. Come on to Google Classroom. The first slide is basically based on this. When you log on to Google Classroom, the first slide that you see, the first screen that you see is going to appear somewhat similar to the screen that is right in front of you. Please click continue to get into the classroom. It is confirming your Gmail ID that you have gotten entered with to enter in Google Classroom. Please press continue. Now, when you press continue, you will come on to this screen where you will be having an option, a plus sign on your right hand side topmost corner. When you click on that sign, you have two options in front of you: join a class or create a class. Now, as you are a teacher, your first step would be to create a class. Go to this plus sign on the right top corner. You will see this option. Click create class, accept terms and conditions, and continue. Once you click continue, a pop-up screen would appear in front of you. The screen would be somewhat similar to what I have attached over here. Please fill in the details of your class. It is basically asking you the details of the class that you are teaching in. Please mention the class name. I have given an example over here. Once you fill in all the details, please click create. PS, you don't need to mention room. Basically, it is the US concept where they have specific rooms to take the classes. Over here, we can leave it blank. It is not a required field, so you can easily create the classroom. Once the classroom is created, the screen in front of you would appear to the screen that you are watching right now. You will have four options at the top. First one would be stream, second one would be classwork, third one would be people, and the fourth one can be mark or can be grade. That depends upon the internet like the web browser that you're using. The picture that you are finding in front of you is of Internet Explorer. If you're using Internet Explorer, you may find it grades over there. If you're using Google Chrome, then you will have marks written over there. So please do not get confused with any of the two. Both of them have same function. Okay, so before we move on to understanding the functions or understanding the classroom, I would first like you to make an important change in your class. That is, go to the screw like icon that is there on the screen on the top right hand side corner. Please press it. It will open the class settings. You can change your general settings for stream over here. I would suggest you people to please change it to students can only comment. They cannot post inside the class, and click save. If you allow the students can post and comment, then the student can post anything inside your classroom which can create a menace. So it is always better that whatever you put on your stream, it should only be made to comment by the students, and the students cannot post any of their material on your stream, on your wall. Now let's understand the function of each of these options that are given on the screen on the topmost center of the screen, topmost bar, center bar. First is stream. It can be used for making announcements. While you are taking any class, you can send any announcement to the students prior to a day of your class, or you can send in announcements like when you want to take the attendance of the class, you can send them a message, please mark your attendance for today. You can mention the date, and the students can send the attendance as comments on the announcement that you are making. So it can be used for various announcements. It can be used for sending a pre-read material. Like suppose you have a class tomorrow at 9 a.m. then you can send a pre-read material today at 8 o'clock, and you can just post it. Your students would automatically get a notification on their phones, and they can go through the material and read it. To keep a check whether the student has actually checked your material or not, you can ask the students to leave a comment over there, so that you're assured that your student has seen your study material. Now, second option over there is classwork. But before I move on to classwork, I would first like to talk about people. In people, it is used for adding teachers or students. For a teacher, you have the option of adding a co-teacher in your people section. If it is a student, the student wall would appear totally different and he cannot add anybody inside the classroom. The whole sole person who is supposed to add any person inside the classroom is the teacher who is actually handling that class. So you have the option of adding teachers as well as the students. Now, I will slightly compare both of these two, the stream and the people option, as like with Facebook. It is easier to compare and understand. Like if you talk about Facebook, your wall is where you post all your things, which is visible to everybody, and that works as stream over here. And if you talk about people, people is like the friend list that you have on Facebook. So you're like, once you send an invite or once you send a friend request to your friend, the friend accepts that request and it is visible in your like friend list in Facebook. Likewise, once you send the code to the students or once you send an email invite to the teacher and they accept it, they will automatically be visible in the people section. Now, coming on to the classwork. Classwork solves the purpose of your class. Basically, the brick and mortar class that we are having, it solves the purpose of that. You can create and post material section wise that you wish your students to focus on. Please refer to the coming slides for the detailed functions. And the last one is marks. It is used for entering marks and grades. It is basically like the digicam sheet that we have in our school, the complete digicam platform that we have. We feed the marks of the students over there. Likewise, we will check the assignments of the students sent by us to them, and once they reply back the assignments, we can go through the assignments and then we can grade the students, or we can mark the students accordingly as per the performance based on their assignment. So if I talk about stream, as mentioned, you can send any notification to your students by making announcements on your stream wall. Once you type and add all the desired data, click post. You can also schedule your post by going on the drop down next to the post. That is, when you see the post, this blue icon on the right hand side of the picture, you can see a inverted triangle. Please click on that. An option of scheduling the post would come over there. You can choose your specific date and time of your post and you can mention schedule. The post will automatically reflect at your scheduled time only. Suppose if I want to make an announcement for 9 o'clock tomorrow, but today I have time, so I want to schedule my post for today only, like for tomorrow, today only. So what will I do is, I will go today, I will open my GCR account, and then I will, like, whatever I wish to post, I will post and schedule it for 9 a.m. tomorrow, and the post will automatically be posted at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, so there is an option of adding files also over here. If you can see, like I have mentioned, please read chapter 3 introduction, and below it there is an option add. So you can add whatever if you want to add a video, you can add a video through two options, either YouTube or copying a YouTube link and adding it through the link option. You can add any PDF file, you can add any study material through either some like document on your phone, on your desktop, or on your Google Drive. So likewise, you can add that data and then you can post or you can schedule your post. To maintain the classwork, I would rather suggest you people to actually follow the first step, because if you do not follow this, your class may look a little haphazard and the students would get confused as to what are they actually, how are they actually going to check all the data sent by you. So I would first ask you to go on the create sign that you see over there. It is there on this picture also, if you can see. Please click create and come on the last option, that is topic. Once you click topic, a pop-up screen would appear in front of you asking you to add topic. I personally have made my classroom in a way that I have divided my class into 4 topics, and I put the content accordingly in all those sections, so that my students are not confused as to what are they going to do in the class today. So I would all suggest, I would like to suggest you all also to do the same. Please divide your class into different topics. I have chosen 4, that is class sessions, in which I will be telling them what we are teaching in that class, what is being taught in that class in particular for that particular day. Second, I have taken as assessment, in which I would be giving them assignments. Third, I've taken as homework or worksheet, in which I will send them worksheets for homework, or I'll be giving them questions, or I'll be sending them files which they can view and they can do the homework either through pen paper, or they can send me any document by attaching it. And fourth, I have created revision, wherein I keep on putting the material I wish them to revise. As an extra added topic, I have made psychology NCERT book heading, in which my in which I have uploaded all the chapters, so that my students, if in case they are not having any having a book, or if in case there is a change in any particular chapter, they can come over there and they can view the change and make the changes in their existing book. Okay, so once you are done with creating the topics, the class may look like this, whatever your desired topics you create. I have chosen these 4 topics. So the screen in front of you is that you are seeing is of my classwork. Now over here, the second point that comes to our mind is how we are going to upload content in these all these sections that we have created over here. I would like to make a suggestion to the teachers who are going to be a part of common classroom. Instead of creating it like this, what you can do is you can put in your subject name first, say history dash classwork, history dash assessment, history dash homework. So you can create your class like that. It will be easier for the students to understand where the content has been uploaded. So to upload the content inside the sections that you have created, the procedure to upload is exactly same. We will have to come on classwork, then we will have to click create, that you can see in front of you. Then what is the type of content that you are going to upload in whatever section, that depends upon that. Like in class sessions, I would upload material, so I would choose material over there. Then I would follow the steps accordingly. For assessments, I might choose assignment as a topic, or say quiz assignment, or say question also. For homework, I may again choose material, or I may choose assignment, whichever type of homework I am giving. So and for revision, likewise, I can fill in material or anything that I wish to give to the students. However, I would like to tell you, when you are uploading all these contents, be it assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post, I'm not talking about right now, I'm talking about from assignment to material. The options that you are going to have would be different for each topic. Like assignment, in assignment you will have different options of uploading and giving it to your students. In question, it would be different. In material, it would be different. So I will be telling you all these things in separate slides, otherwise you will not be able to get it if I explain it to you over here. This is just an example in front of you that you are seeing right now. I wish to upload content in my class sessions. The first step would be I would go on create, then I would come on material. The screen that you are seeing in front of you is material. So you will be redirected to this page. As I have selected material, I will get the following options shown in the pic below. Now the step 2 that you are going to do is you are going to fill in all the entries, that is title, and description, whatever you wish to give. The title is, I basically provide the chapter name because it is easier for the students to identify. Then the description, what do you want, what is there inside that chapter, or what do you want your students to do with the material that you are uploading. Step 3 would be to click add for attaching any file from the options given. You can add it through Google Drive, you can add it through a link. If it is a video, you can copy and paste that link over here, it will automatically get added. You can choose a file on your system or your phone, and you can also upload from YouTube. Instead of uploading from or searching the videos on YouTube, it is a little bit difficult. Suppose I've already searched for a video on YouTube and I want that particular video to be uploaded over here. I can easily go on share link of YouTube, copy paste the link from there and put in the link over here. Now next is, if you see on the right hand side of this page, you can see for, it is auto selected the class that you are teaching in, and you have an option of selecting students. Suppose you want, there is a student, a weak student in your class, and you want him to do or revise a particular topic, and you want only him to do that. You can select just that student and send that material to that student, or if you wish to select send it to all your students, you can select all students. Next comes topic. This is very important part. Now whatever sections that you have created, when you click on topic, you will get to see all those sections mentioned, like it is here on the right hand side of the screen, that small screen. You can see the options that are mentioned over here. Now I wish to choose this material to be dropped in class sessions, so I will go on class sessions and click it. It will automatically choose class sessions as the topic, and I would post that material immediately if I want the students to read it immediately, and if I want that the students should use it the next day, then I can schedule my post. I've already told you how to schedule the post. So once I upload the content and I put it over there in my class sessions, my classwork wall would appear like this. The content that I have uploaded would be visible on my class sessions wall. Now the second section that I have is of assessments. Suppose if you wish to give an assignment to your student as an assessment, the first step would remain the same. You will go on create, you will click assignment over there, and you will be redirected to this window that you are seeing in front of you. Step 2 will be to fill in the entries and add or create file. Like you will have to fill in the entries that are mentioned over here. You have to, whatever instructions you wish to give, you will give over here. Then you will go on to add, either you will add file from your system that you have already created. I have chosen a Word file over here, that is MS Word file, or you can create a file in Google Docs and you can put it over here. Now there's a slight difference between adding a Google Doc file and adding a Word file. I would suggest you people to please create file in Google Docs. We'll be learning it in the coming workshops how to do it, and attach that file over here. Why? Because if you look at step 3, you have the options of choosing any one of the options from the 3. What Deepti ma'am told us in her workshop was make a copy for each student. Now suppose you make a copy for each student and you want your student to edit that one particular copy, and if it is not a Google document, the student would only see it as a PDF file in front of them, see a Word doc as a PDF file in front of them. They can neither download that file nor can they edit that file. So I would suggest you people to please make your document on Google Docs so that they can edit that file there and then. Now step 3, I would again repeat, whatever content you are sending, please choose make a copy for each student. This will help in sending a separate copy to each student. In this case, Google Docs, in case of Google Docs, this happens that if you are not going to make a separate copy and you are only going to mention student can edit file, then whichever student, like suppose 3 students are working, all the 3 students would be working on the same page that you have shared, and their content would be on the same page. So suppose if you are not doing that, all 40 of your students would be working on one Google document that you have shared, and it is going to create a menace. You will not even be able to know who has submitted and who has done the work and who hasn't done the work on that document. So please make a copy for each student, choose that. Now step 4 is that you have to again choose these following options. The class is auto chosen. Students whomsoever you wish to choose, if it is all, select all. Now points is one thing that is totally depends upon you. If you wish to take it as a test, you can mention the points, how much like marks you want to give the test for. If you do not want to take it as a test and just give it as an assignment to your students, there's an option that comes as unmarked. So please click the inverted triangle next to 100. You will get an option of unmarked. Click that, and the test would not be based on marking system. Next comes due date. So if you wish this assignment to be submitted at a particular date, to be submitted by a particular date, you can mention that date, and even you can mention the time. So suppose you mention 2nd May 6 p.m. The students should submit that document to you by 2nd May 6 p.m. The students submitting that document after 6 p.m., you will check like when they submit that document, your screen, your mark screen would show that this student has submitted it late. So you have this option of knowing that who has submitted it on time and who had submitted the assignment after the prescribed time. Next comes the topic. Again, I would say this is very important. Please choose the topic, or please choose the section that you are putting your work in. So as this is for assessment, I would choose assessment over here, and I would assign this if I want the students to visit it now, and if I want the students to view it later, I would schedule the post. So likewise, I'll follow the same step of going on create and adding material in all my sections, and then when I'm done, my screen would appear like this. So as you can see that my class sessions is having one topic, my assessments is having one topic, homework is having one, and revision is having one. So all your screens would appear like this. If you want to go and click on any particular section, you can also choose from the sidebar that you can see where all topics, class sections, assessments, homework and revision on the left hand side it is mentioned over there. You can select from that also. It is basically to help you out. Like right now I'm having only one content, so my page is a little shrunk, but when I am going to upload more and more topics, it is going to be like, it is going to have n number of data. So coming to any section, I need to scroll down my bar. So instead of scrolling down, I can easily select any of those topics on my left hand side of the screen, and I can choose to visit that one particular section. Now, how to add people in your Google Classroom? So to add people, please go on the icon people, click it. You will have two options over there. First is the teachers, and second is the students. I would first like to tell you how to add teachers. You cannot share your class code with the teachers. Class code is only applicable for students. To add teachers, you have to click on the plus sign that is in the bar, right in the bar, in the same bar as where teachers is mentioned. Please click on that sign. Once you click on that sign, a pop-up window would appear in front of you where you can see invite teachers. Type a name or email. So you're going to type in the email address of the teacher, and you're going to click invite. Once you send this invite, the teacher would get it as an email in their Gmail account. Mind it, I'm again saying Gmail account. Why? Because it is all connected to Gmail only. Any other ID would not, any other domain would not work. So I would suggest you to only add Gmail ID of the teacher. So once she accepts, she would start reflecting in your teacher section. Like if you can see over here, this is a pseudo ID I have. So you can see Google Classroom is already mentioned over here. Now, how to add a student? Let's understand that. So to add a student, there are two ways basically. One is either you can add them by manually feeding all their email addresses, which I personally feel is a tedious task, because suppose you are taking one class having 40 students, then you are taking another section or so, likewise. So it is going to be difficult to add n number of email addresses. So I would rather suggest you to share the class code that is visible at two places. First one is right down there on your screen under the student section. You can see a class code over there, KCIXQGV, that is mentioned. You can copy this class code and you can share it with your students through WhatsApp. Or what you can do is you can come back to the stream section. There you will have that one picture where your class name is mentioned, that is quite visible on the screen. I need not explain where it is. You need to see where the class code is mentioned. Just press this four square box that is there, and this the code would get big. So either take a screenshot and send it to your students, or you can copy it and paste it on WhatsApp and send it to your students for them to be added inside the classroom. The moment they log into their Gmail ID, Google Classroom that is, and put in this code, they would automatically start reflecting as students inside your classroom. So it is like that you have sent them a friend request and they have accepted your friend request, and they would automatically be visible in your classroom. Like you can see an example over there. I am sorry, I've created a lot of pseudo IDs to practice this. So Anaya Singh is another pseudo ID that I'm using to practice. So you can see that this is basically how the student window would look like when he enters or she enters the Google Classroom. The URL for students to enter is the same that is mentioned over here on this page. Through their Gmail address, they would enter. They would click the plus sign that is on the right hand side top corner. They would be choosing join class option. They cannot create a class, of course, because they are students. Then they would enter the class code. When they are going to click the join class option, they would get this pop-up on their screen that you can see join class code is mentioned. They will enter the class code and click join. The moment they click join, they would be a part of your class, and your class would start reflecting on their screen. Unlike us, they would be having only three options on their screen. First is stream, second is classwork, and third is people. Now the small picture that you see over here is of the teacher domain. The teacher would be able to see the student as soon as the student joins the class by clicking in the code. Now, as a teacher, you have the full liberty to delete a student from your class or to mute the student from your class. But as a student, the student has no liberty in playing anything with the people icon over there. The student would only be able to view the teachers that are added in the classroom or the classmates that are added. The student would not be able to either delete any teacher or add any student inside the class, or will not be even able to view their email addresses. So this is how the student wall would look like. He will have or she will have only these three options, and whatever content you are uploading, see, you can see that I have already whatever content I had uploaded in my classroom is visible over here on this screen, and that I have given an assignment which is having a due date and due time, which is also visible over here. So likewise, this is how the student domain would student wall would look like.